that after you've had this incredible 30,000 foot view of all these different ideas, do any patterns emerge of something that really grabs you as appealing as a model?
There are certain things that stand out to me. From like a hypothetical perspective, like there are certain constraints that I think should be on most indie hackers checklists. Like I don't think you should start a business where you can't charge people a lot of money. If you can't charge people at least $100 or $200 a month, like I don't think you should start that business as an indie hacker because it's going to be way harder for you. So I could like stick to the hypothetical level, but like the specifics, I really like the business model that indie hackers had, and I've seen others do it in better ways. That like knowing that I would have gone back and made some tweaks. I think they did it better than I did it and better than Peter Levels did it. Like I think the person I just mentioned, Lynn Tai, her business is like the perfect execution of that. And the business model is like, quite frankly, what you do is you take some sort of niche interest or some sort of niche thing that people are, a niche interest that requires research that is like hard, that people are spending lots of time doing. And you do that research for them at a really high quality and you put it all in one place, where you create the best resource online for a particular thing. Basically, it's content. So Nomad List, it's a community, but it's content. Indie Hackers, it's a community, but it's content, it's stories. Nomad List is data about businesses. Our website Key Value is data about companies and their cultural values and what it's actually like to work there. So if you're trying to find a job as a software engineer, there's no better place to go at a startup. There's no better place to go than Key Values to find that information, because she's done that research. She spends like a ridiculous amount of time talking to these companies and putting together really customized, detailed profiles for them and doesn't let them get away with like wishy-washy answers, right? So that's step one. Step two is if you do that, you've actually picked a good niche and a good market, and there's like distribution channels for it. Like people in those distribution channels will love you and you'll go to the top every time because it's better than anything else out there because you picked a good niche. And at that point in time, you can charge money to advertisers. Now, here's the thing that I got wrong. I won't say I got it wrong, but like I definitely would do it differently. Like the way that I was doing it was almost like there were three parties involved. There's me creating the content, there's the indie hackers reading the content, and then the advertisers, and like I'm the bridge, just connecting these two different people. And like, the problem with that was, and I guess the fourth group was like the people I'm interviewing who are creating the content. So there's like four of us. The problem with that is that the people who are reading are trying to connect to the people who are doing the interviews and providing the useful information. They're not trying to connect to the advertisers. They don't care about the advertisers. So the advertisers are actually like a demerit against the site when they see that advertising revenue, or they see those advertising messages. The way that like Len has done it with her site, and some others have done it as well, like Ben Tossel's done it with MakerPad, is they sort of combined the advertisers and the content producers into one bucket. So if you go to Key Values, like she doesn't have a bunch of company profiles and then ads alongside the company profiles. The company profiles are themselves ads. Like companies pay her money to put their profiles on the site. So the thing that the readers are actually coming to read is the ad. They're one and the same. This is good for a number of reasons. Number one, it makes the ads way more effective. People are literally coming there to read the ads, so like they get way more clicks and companies are happier. Number two, it doesn't split your attention as a founder. You're not like creating good content and creating ads. They're one and the same. It's one activity. With indie hackers, like every day I spent on ads was a day that I wasn't making the site better. It was in fact a day that I was making the site worse. So you bring your goals into alignment if you combine those two things. And straightforwardly, you can just make a lot more money. Like advertising is a very lucrative business because it's very high ARPU. Advertisers pay a lot of money, especially if your advertisers are bigger companies. So Ben Tossel with MakerPad, I think he grew like $30K a month in revenue in like 6 months because he's charging advertisers like $5,000 each to put a profile on his site. So his site is like tutorials. Like how do you, as a person who doesn't know how to code, how do you build an app like Asana, right? Are there tools you can use as a non-coder to build these complex websites and apps? It turns out there are, but there's not that many tutorials. So Ben Tossel is gathering all the information online and creating these tutorials. Lo and behold, the tutorials are basically advertisements for certain companies. So he partners with them to create the tutorials. They pay him $5,000 or $10,000. He pockets that money, puts the ad up. Readers come to his site happy to read this ad, and it's not like some sort of separate ad slapped on top. So that's my all-time favorite indie hackers business model.
Cool.
That I think can be replicated across an infinite number of niches and provide like a pretty good lifestyle business for lots of different people.